Turismo is directed by Neill Blomkamp and is sort of a video game movie. But also not really a video game movie. We'll talk about that in just a second. The film is based on the unbelievable inspiring true story of a team of underdogs, a struggling working-class gamer, a failed former race car driver in an idealistic motorsport exec who risk it all to take on the most elite sport in the world. Real-life contest that actually pulled from the best Gran Turismo players in the world, resulting in one of them getting a chance to race for real, and that the film is marketed heavily as a true story. Because it really does seem very difficult to believe, but it happened. When I first heard that there was a Gran Turismo movie coming out, I immediately thought of the fact that Twisted Metal is now a show on Peacock. And I was also remembering the Need for Speed movie with Aaron Paul, and as it turns out, Gran Turismo is technically kind of a video game adaptation in a way. But also not really, because the game itself is a racing simulator. It's designed to be a very accurate racing simulator. Obviously it worked for some people, and since this is a true story, it's really more of a biopic in a way. It's just centered around a video game that resulted in a very talented driver getting a shot at the big time, so it sort of operates in this really interesting grey area, where you're not entirely sure if it's a video game movie or not, but it doesn't really matter because Neill Blomkamp, I think, has directed my favorite film he's made since District 9. And I'm very surprised to say that, because the trailer did nothing for me. It looked pretty bland, to be honest, but the film is very riveting, and much of that is due to great acting. David Harbour is fantastic as the hardened, grizzled old coach. That's just trying to get these players into shape, these young kids who don't know what they're doing. What is this world coming to? You know, that kind of guy, and that's one of my favorite aspects of the film. Actually, is the notion of a different view of an underdog. Because in a film like, say, Rocky, you have someone who's trained all of his life actually boxing to get to a point where he gets that shot. This is different though, because the players in this movie, while they're amazing at the game itself, they haven't really been on a race car track before. At least the way that they are eventually asked to in the film. So they've been racing their whole lives, but in a very different way. In the safety of their bedroom, they have yet to experience the G-force that a driver would in real life. They have yet to experience an actual crash. They can press the reset button if they screw up, but not when they're actually on the track. And that unique approach to the underdog story made this film stand out. Yes, it follows very similar beats we've seen before. The lead character, Jan Martinborough, has a father who doesn't see any hope or future in what he's trying to do, who, by the way, is played exceptionally by Djimon Hounsou, who I love, and every time he shows up in a movie he's a standout, and he has one scene in this movie that brought me to tears. Honestly, he was so fantastic in the film. It's a movie that follows the tropes of most underdog stories, and you can kind of predict where it's going, but I do think that there are some tropes and cliches and beats and films that are just always going to work. There are things I'm always going to feel for. If the movie is well crafted, and Neill Blomkamp does a fantastic job with the characters presenting people that feel real, piling obstacles on his protagonists, while also filming some incredible racing sequences, probably the best I've seen since Ford the Fifth Ferrari. Orlando Bloom is also really good in the film, and I haven't seen him in something for a while, which was great, and I'm so sorry if I screw his name up, but Archie Madekwe, who plays the lead, kept the movie feeling grounded and real. His performance was excellent. I felt the highs and lows of his life very well. He was a great presence on the screen. And I also like how the movie challenges that old stereotype that all gamers are just overweight nerds who live in their mom's basement and don't contribute anything to society. I have my own basement, thank you very much, because my generation, when we were young, we dealt with the way video games were viewed by society, by our parents and by our grandparents, that it was just this horrible thing that was going to destroy everything and melt children's brains. And now it's a lot more accepted because parents who have kids are playing video games too. Now I mean, I'm playing video games my kids watch me play Pikmin 4 right now. It's fun, they love it, and I like that we're getting films that show how a game, or in this case a racing simulator as the character sometimes corrects people in the movie, can actually teach someone how to do something in real life and do it very well. Gran Turismo is a crowd pleaser all the way. It's designed to make the audience clap and get excited and feel emotional at certain points. We've seen tons of films that follow a similar story structure. And it is odd for Neill Blomkamp to take a movie like this, because it seems like he does try to do things that are completely the opposite of what a crowd-pleasing mainstream film generally feels like. But he didn't take this project and then just walk home with a paycheck. He does a lot of really innovative things with the racing sequences, some very fun visual effects that showcase how Yang's brain is when he's in his car. Sometimes you see the car split apart into all the different pieces, how he's picturing all the different bits of machinery in the car and how they work and how he can utilize them to win the race. It's a very exciting film and way better than I thought it would be. Critics are not being nice to it. I don't know what's going on right now. I don't feel that way at all. I thought this was a very exciting and fun movie, and if you're a fan of the games, definitely check it out. But if you just like good sports films, check it out, guys. Thank you so much as always for watching. Look forward to more videos very soon, and if you like this, you can click right here and get stuck manized.